Yo, people, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Stop Lounge. This is episode number 22, I believe, and we are
I
your
don't know
hosts.
about you. I'm
Oh,
feeling 22.
nah.
I just remember that song. Sorry, bro. Sorry.
Anyhow, before this lad interrupted me, we are your hosts, Jan and Malcolm, and bro, it's been 3 weeks since
Three
our
week
last
hi.
episode.
Yeah, 3 week hiatus, bro. A 3 week hiatus. It's been pretty weird not having any Formula One, but expected since it was a 3 week break. Had an awesome weekend this weekend. United won. We won. Thank God. A much
Finally,
needed win. Thank
finally,
God. Yesterday we met. We went to have a couple
yeah,
drinks.
yeah,
with
absolutely.
the,
It's been
with you, me, and the group. Had a
yeah,
great time,
yeah,
and of course
amazing
we had
time.
the races day. But in reality, today I was leave. I had a couple errands to run. An awesome weekend, though. How are you doing? You good?
Yeah, same here. I mean, today is my off day. I don't usually work during on Mondays, so it's been quite a jam-packed day as well. To be honest, lots of errands, going to the gym, spending some time on content as well, and obviously yesterday had the race to watch as well. So and even football during the weekend. So even though on off day regarding work and stuff like that, it's been pretty jam-packed. But anyhow, before we begin, guys, make sure to give us a like, comment, follow, and share on our socials: Facebook,
True,
Instagram, and YouTube. The same
true,
socials by now, especially if this is your first time listening to our podcast.
sure.
And for our Spotify listeners, make sure to let us with a rating. Let us know with each poll we publish on each episode, and let us know your thoughts on there. And
Yeet.
with that, guys, let's get into today's episode. Bro, um, we may have a 3 week break, but now
A
we are
lot.
in we are now in the business end of the
Yep,
of the
yep.
season, man. I mean,
Listen,
this is
this
yeah,
is where the gloves come off now.
yeah,
Basically, yeah. This is where the gloves
absolutely,
come off. Everything to play for. Every point matters now. Yeah.
yeah,
And now
absolutely.
and this is where it's going to get the most intense. Like, this is where we're going to get the most racing. Like, do you have the cojones or not?
Yeah, and it's basically do or die now. And this is
Yep.
obviously last weekend was the first of a triple header weekend in the Americas. We had the Texas Grand Prix of the circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, and this is, as we said, this is like the business, the start of the business end of the Formula One season. But as per usual, guys, before we begin talking about last weekend, we're gonna start with what happened off the track, which we don't have a lot to talk about, bro, because the driver.
Which is weird, though, because
Yeah,
usually
very
when there's
weird.
a break, that's where we're filled with the most news. Either
Yeah,
driver transfers,
absolutely.
sackings, people moving around. But it was quiet as a mouse this time, bro.
Yeah, very quiet. And
It
honestly,
was quiet as a mouse.
I was expecting a driver announcement regarding to Sauber. I
Yeah,
legitimately thought that the second driver for the Sauber team was
we
going
didn't
to be
hear
transferred
anything.
next season.
I mean, we
Still
heard
nothing.
something. I mean, we heard something, but it was nothing extravagant, really.
Yeah.
We heard something.
I mean, if I managed to see something, I would have basically said it here. It looks like again. I'm probably thinking Bottas might get that seat next season, or Vettel could make a shocking return,
What if, man?
or
What
even
if?
Franco Colapinto, or any one of the young drivers could have
He's
gotten
in
a
the running,
seat.
bro. He's in
He's
the
in the
running.
and after this weekend especially, yeah, he's for me he's in the running to get that seat. But um, we didn't have any driver transfer related news.
Quiet as a
However,
mouse, bro.
yeah, quite as a mouse, exactly. However, we had a pretty big announcement, which is going to come into effect for next season, and that is that the fastest lap, the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, is set to be removed from next season onwards. It was announced on Thursday during the FIA's World Motorsport Council. The council itself announced that they have made several tweaks to the sports regulations for next season. And the biggest one is obviously the bonus point for the fastest lap will disappear from next season onwards. For those of you who don't know, guys, the fastest lap of the race is awarded to any one of the drivers who gets into the top 10, which is basically just 1 point for getting the fastest lap of the race. And however, that is not coming into effect anymore. And this news has been very controversial. Some of them agreed with the news themselves. However, the majority of fans and many people linked to the sport themselves um, didn't agree so much with the news. Bro, what do you think about this news? You agree?
I'm being honest. I have mixed emotions on it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have mixed emotions because I can see why they're trying to remove it. They want to remove it, but in my opinion, they should have done what they should have done with what we've been asking for. Put keep the fastest lap, but make it accessible to all the 20 drivers. If you finish outside the top 10, you can still set the fastest lap and still gain a point. Well, I don't know. I don't know why they had to remove it after. I don't get the point. If they want to remove it, I guess yes, it's a point. Yes, it's a valuable championship point because you can win a championship with it. But I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it. Really, I think there's a sense. I think you as a driver, you should get that sense of satisfaction. Oh, I set the fastest lap of the race.
Mm.
I think that's a sense of satisfaction, and to gain that
Yeah,
point. To me, they should have made it accessible for all the 20 drivers. If you finish outside the top 10, you can still set the
yeah,
fastest lap and still gain a point.
yeah. I agree with you on that because for me it didn't make any sense that it was only applicable for those drivers
To
who
the top
finished
10.
in the top 10 in any race. So I think I would have kept the fastest lap bonus point for next season. At least make it applicable for every single driver in the grid and not just with the top
Yeah,
10, because for me that really is making it quite unfair in my opinion. And
yeah.
I don't think now, bro, if it's obviously going to be removed now, we're not going to see any more drivers putting in the final lap of the race just to get the fastest lap, because
That's
many
exactly.
drivers,
We ain't going to
um,
see that now. We ain't going to see that.
we're not going to see that anymore. And some drivers have reacted to this news. Specifically Carlos Sainz wasn't one of the drivers who agreed. Sorry, he was one of the drivers who agreed that the bonus point could have been removed. And then there were other drivers that were quite on the fence about it. So uh, again, it's very mixed feelings about this. But at the same time, it's quite controversial as well, because I think I know a lot of people
You're
agree.
gonna find some people who agree with it and don't
Yes,
agree with it. To
it's a
me,
very divided.
it's very divided, and there's mixed emotions about it.
Yeah,
I have mixed
yeah,
emotions about it. I'm gonna be honest. I can see why they removed it, but I think they should have kept it and made it
yeah.
accessible to all the 20 drivers, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it on the fastest lap bonus point, guys. We're pretty divided on. It's a pretty divisive news regarding this. Um, with Malcolm, he's quite mixed about it. I think I'm also, for me, I think I'm on the same line as well. I'm quite mixed about it. I agree with some aspect of it, then at the same time, I disagree with other aspects of
Yeah.
this news. But anyhow, let's hope that there isn't anything any major regulations that are coming into it that are gonna have a big effect or a big change for next season. So we'll have to see now.
Um,
uh, Sorry guys about that. Our technical difficulties with our recording app.
yep.
Hopefully we don't have any more interruptions.
Yeah,
With
Riverside
regards to
bugging,
that.
bro. Riverside bugging today.
Riverside
Hey,
today is
hey,
really
yo,
bugging out.
Monday blues, bro.
Yeah, Monday blues. I mean, I was having my vacation blues a couple of weeks ago, but listen, I think Riverside now it's having its own vacation blues now, because fucking
Crazy,
hell, man, it's crazy
crazy.
today. They're on to bugging out. Anyways, guys, we just finished talking about our opinions on the fastest lap bonus point being removed for next season, and now we head into the race weekend, which is POTA, or the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, bro. One of my favorite tracks in the modern era.
It is. It is. It is
I
nice.
think compared to the newer tracks, it's easily my favorite amongst the bunch. It's just a proper racing track,
It's a,
bro.
it's
I
a, it's a
mean,
proper racetrack. Yeah, it is a proper racetrack. But I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's nostalgia. I still prefer Indianapolis over Kota.
fair assessment to be honest, because I mean,
I don't know
Indianapolis is
if
a
it's not.
fantastic track.
Huh?
Indianapolis is a fantastic track as well, but
I don't know if it's nostalgia, bro, but I still prefer Indianapolis over Kota. I like Kota. It's a technical track. It's a nice track. It's a
yeah,
proper racetrack. But I prefer Indianapolis. I would love a modern F1 car to go around Indianapolis.
I mean
Take
Indianapolis,
on
bro.
that
With
banked curve, bro. I would love
yeah,
to.
yeah, bro. Listen, Indianapolis, with the exception of that farcical '05 race where only
Yeah.
6 cars started the track or started the race.
Yeah, but that wasn't the
Um,
racetrack's fault. That was the tires' fault with Pirelli
the
and Bridgestone with the Bridgestone. With
Bridgestone
the
tires.
Bridgestone, that was the Bridgestone debacle.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I remembered watching that race when I was like only how like I was like 6 or 7 years old during that time. But I remembered watching that race and I was like, sheesh, man, this is a snooze fest of a race.
Bridgestone in the bins. I think they dumped Bridgestone after
Nah,
that.
nah,
No, oh,
yeah,
they
yeah,
kept them.
completely. No, they dumped them. They dumped
Yeah,
them.
they dumped them, and rightfully so.
Really. Not and thankfully we didn't had any similar outcomes
No,
with not just an American racetrack but also like with other racetracks in the F1 calendar as well. So
yeah,
we were lucky with that.
yeah.
Obviously, bro, the talk of the town this weekend was obviously the between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris, the drivers' championship.
Especially right now.
The
Especially right
drivers'
now.
championship is obviously between those two drivers now. I mean, I can't see Ferrari or even any of the Mercedes drivers having a late shout towards the other stages.
Yeah.
And obviously, bro, not it isn't quite surprising that every team. We're specifically talking about Red Bull and McLaren
Pardon me.
here have unveiled some really crucial upgrades for in preparation for Austin last weekend. Obviously, these changes, bro, they are very risky because they could either make your season or they could sink your entire
Or
season.
you don't do any upgrades at all, like Ferrari.
Like Ferrari, because I think Ferrari were one of the only teams that didn't do
The-
any upgrades, right?
at least of the top teams, because Ferrari is one of is the only of the top teams not to do a single upgrade, which was strange to me. I didn't expect it.
Very strange.
I expected at least some minor updates here and there, but not nothing.
Which
Maybe,
was quite surprising as well.
I think they're putting all their eggs into next year.
Yeah,
I
I
reckon
believe
so. I reckon so.
believe so. I believe so.
Listen. They better because they know who they have next year.
Yeah, they
Lewis
have
Hamilton.
the
Lewis Hamilton.
yeah the
They better. They know already.
on stats wise the greatest driver of all time and they also have a drama queen as well at the same
Yeah.
time because we know what happens when things don't go in Hamilton's way basically. Um, but anyways, back to the upgrades. We're gonna specifically talk about Red Bull and McLaren because if we talk about every single team, we would be to tomorrow basically.
Yeah.
With Red Bull, they had a revised edge wing camber over the rearward third. It's more around the rear side of things. They also brought a revised engine cover to improve their cooling system. Um, uh, McLaren, on the other hand, they made a lot of upgrades. I mean, they made changes to their front wing, their front and rear suspensions. They also focused on the cooling systems as well, made some modifications with the brake ducts, and they've also made a revised beam wing to reduce the track speed, basically. So I think McLaren made the bigger upgrades, but I think I don't know about you, bro. I think they there's something fishy with regards to Red Bull because they changed their car at this time of the season. So that for me, it either spells that they're either gonna make a serious comeback or a serious
They
charge
better. They have to.
for the business end of the season,
They have to.
or else they're going to continue bottling it and lose even second place to Ferrari.
They have to do something. They have to do something. It's a
Yeah,
risk reward, bro. It's a risk reward for Red Bull now.
high risk, high reward, basically.
They have a lot to lose, man. They have
Yeah,
a lot to
definitely.
lose.
And
They have already lost
uh,
a lot. They've already lost a lot. They
Yeah.
don't want to lose even more. It's risk reward now for Red Bull. Do or
It's all,
die.
it's all thanks to Sergio Perez, to be honest,
Yeah.
rather than just rather than Supermax. But besides that, bro, McLaren was also one of the few teams that unveiled one-off liveries as well
Yeah.
for the Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. This isn't the first time that we have seen one-off liveries in America. I think it's expected that any one of the teams have unveiled some sort of special livery. We're gonna start with McLaren. McLaren unveiled their chrome livery, a welcome return as well because the chrome livery is a fan favorite livery. They first unveiled it around Silverstone last year, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah. Silverstone last year, bro.
And once again, they unveiled it here for Austin for Austin. Um, Haas were the second team to unveil their livery. Obviously, Haas home soil for them in Texas in the US. This one I really like the black livery that dominates around the car. Also that sort of an eagle near their logo name as well. It's a really nice touch. What do you think, bro? With both McLaren
I like it.
and
I
Haas, to
like
be
it.
honest.
Well, McLaren is the same as last year from Silverstone, so not maybe
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
really much to say there. But I do like the Haas one. I mean, it's a tribute since they're racing on home soil, just like you said. It's a nice livery. I like it.
No, but nothing to write home about again, to be honest.
Nah, not really. I mean, it's nice. It's good.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But however, the one team that really impressed, to be honest, from the one of liveries is Alpine,
Yeah, that
and
gets my pick
Alpine.
between the three.
Yeah, for me, same here as well. Because listen, I don't really want to pick McLaren again because it's the same as Silverstone last season. It's a
Yeah,
fantastic livery. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
I love the chrome livery of the car as well. But I can't really pick the same old a repeated livery from last season. But going back to Alpine now, Alpine's livery is a tribute for the release of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is a video game scheduled to release next December. It's a brand new Indiana Jones game, and it's basically an orange and black livery car. It's quite like to like with McLaren's car, to be completely honest. Because and at one point I was confused that McLaren were at the back of the grid, but that car turned out to be an Alpine car.
Hmm.
But I really like this. I really like this livery. I think, listen, Indiana Jones and Texas is a nice combination because Indiana Jones is this adventure movie series and it has that desert color palette tone to it. So I really think it really suits it. And I think this is one of the best liveries of the entire season, if
It
I'm being
is.
completely
It is,
honest. I
bro.
mean,
It is
it's a
nice.
good
It is
shout. Not
nice.
the best, but it's one of the best, definitely. What do you think?
I agree, bro. I agree. I absolutely loved it. I loved it, bro.
Definitely.
And is it? It's one of the best. What's the best livery so far this season? One-off livery.
I think
What's
it's the
been the best?
McLaren, the Miami McLaren livery. I think that has to be one of the best ones.
I prefer the Monaco one.
Obviously, I'll give my best livery come the end of the season as well because obviously
I
by
mean,
the time the
listen,
season
we
concludes,
still have a Las Vegas special livery for sure.
yeah, but that one is the one I'm really
Yeah,
expecting to see something
we
special
still have
from
a
there.
Las Vegas one to go to. So
Yeah,
probably Las Vegas is going to be the last of the one-offs.
I'm eager to see what teams are gonna pull off in Las Vegas with their liveries because obviously Las Vegas is glitz and glammy, and teams will expect I expect like a team or two to pull off like a really special livery.
Yeah, yeah.
To be honest,
Same with, same with Ferrari last season in Las Vegas, that red and white livery, which was sexy as hell.
yeah, definitely. I agree. But no, anyhow, I think Alpine definitely have the best one of livery for this weekend by far. The Haas one, nothing to write home about. To be completely honest,
It's a minor change.
it's a minor change. Can't really give any points. And with McLaren, is the same as last season. So can't really give points. So Alpine definitely have the best livery. And to be honest, they need something to share about Alpine because they're having such a poor season at the moment that
Actually, it's not really a poor season. What do you want about, bro?
nah, it's not a great season, bro. They're having
What you mean? Nah.
Alpine.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were speaking about Haas.
No, about Alpine. No, about
Oh,
Alpine.
Alpine. Oh shit. Oh shit. I
Alpine.
thought.
Alpine.
Oh
Bro,
shit. Oh shit. Oh my god. I'm.
you had a blonde moment there.
Yeah, I had a hella blonde
You had a
moment,
blonde
bro. I'm
moment
sorry.
there.
My mistake. My mistake. On me.
No, anyhow. So obviously, guys, we're gonna start with the usual, but obviously Austin also had a sprint race this season, this weekend. So we're gonna start by talking about sprint qualifying and the sprint race, and then we'll get into qualifying and the eventual race. Which, to be honest, bro, apart from the first couple of laps, not a memorable race, to be completely honest. I
Nah,
mean,
not at all. Not at all.
not a
Listen,
memorable race.
even like none of the title contenders won, respectfully, but the
Yeah,
focus was on the title contenders and not on the race winner.
which was absolute disgrace, by the way.
To me, it's absolute bullshit. I'm not saying because my team won. No, not at all. But at least acknowledge.
Yeah,
At least give some
absolutely.
respect. At least,
Absolutely.
which is
No,
bullshit to me.
absolutely. But we'll get into that later on. We're going to start, obviously, with the sprint qualifying. We had a big surprise in the first part of sprint qualifying, but preceding, obviously, the driver who ended who finished in 16th. But those people, the drivers who got knocked out of Q1 of the first part of sprint qualifying were the two Saubers, Zhou Guanyu and Valtteri Bottas. No comments on that team. We know how shit their car
All
is
season long,
all
bro. All
season
season
long.
long. And it
Um,
ain't changing.
I am a little bit disappointed with Alex Albin.
Yeah, he fucked up
Starting
turn
in
19, bro.
18th.
He fucked
Yeah,
up turn 19.
and that turn 19 was a
That
cursed
was a
part of the
nightmare.
track.
Was a
That's a
nightmare
nightmare.
this weekend.
Yeah, absolute nightmare. And for one team in particular, was a
Listen,
massive nightmare.
listen,
But
listen, listen. Williams and two other
Mercedes,
Mercedes and McLaren as well.
yeah, with
McLaren as
Lando,
well with Piastri.
and he made a fantastic save, Piastri, over there as well.
But yeah, but he got his lap time invalidated, no?
Yeah,
Or was it
absolutely.
Norris? Or was it Norris?
I believe it was Piastri because honestly, I kind of missed a large part of sprint qualifying because it was
I think it was
at a really
Piastri. I think
terrible
it was
time.
Piastri. So
Yeah,
that
definitely.
turn 19, bro, was wild this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So and Alexander unfortunately was fell victim
Yeah,
in
it was Piastri on the on SQ1.
in sprint qualifying one. Yes,
Yeah, it was
definitely.
Piastri.
Yeah, definitely. And but he made a fantastic save, to be honest. Because he lost control, but thankfully he gained control
Yeah, but he went off
quite
limits
quickly.
still.
Yeah, but he went off limits as well. And before Piastri, we had Esteban Ocon finishing starting in 17th, with not a great lap for him. But obviously, we were mentioning Oscar Piastri. He was the big surprise because his lap time got deleted and he got knocked out in the first part of qualifying in 16th place. That stinks for Oscar because I believe this is the first time he got knocked out in Q1, if I'm not mistaken, right?
This season, yes. This season, yes.
Definitely the season, yes. I mean, last season, I kind of
I think
forgot
he
to be
got knocked
honest,
out
but
in Q1 in the beginning,
yeah,
earlier last season.
rare setback for him. And honestly, Oscar Piastri this weekend, he wasn't quite on the at the same pace as his teammates or some of the top drivers have. So, and that was unfortunate the start of not so fantastic weekend for him. In the second part of sprint qualifying, Liam Lawson and the two Aston Martins didn't even
Even said
set a
time.
lap time for the second part of sprint qualifying.
Alonso was wide, track limits, turn 19 as
Yes.
well, I believe.
Wow,
Turn 19 was
turn
crazy.
19 gave a lot of headaches to drivers.
Yeah, yeah,
Gave a lot of drivers to headaches. Yeah.
yeah.
And speaking of Liam Lawson, obviously this was Liam Lawson's first weekend with obviously with his Racing Bulls team, his second spell with the team. Obviously, Danny Rick got sacked after the Singapore Grand Prix, and Liam Lawson was his replacement. So, as we mentioned, Liam Lawson had big shoes to fill in. And obviously he needed to make the most out of the remaining races of the season. And thankfully, sprint qualifying and even the sprint race were one of the few setbacks for him because the qualifying because the race was the complete opposite for him.
Yeah,
But yeah, 15th was unfortunate to get of getting that DNF alongside those two Aston Martins. Pierre Gasly in 12th compared to his teammate. A good session for him, but at the same time, he would have he would have been more happy if he would have maybe just squeezed himself into the top 10. But I think 12th with that Alpine was the best he could have managed. Sergio Perez again 11, another stinker for him. Um, um, and even just more embarrassing, bro. I mean, Franco Colapinto, who only has been in the sport for a couple of races,
pipped him.
he out qualified him
Yeah,
in 10th basically.
he pipped him, bro. He just
I
pipped
mean,
him.
bro, listen, we have nothing else to say with Sergio Perez. We already gave our thoughts on his run of form
All I
in
have
the
to say,
previous episodes.
all I have to say about Sergio is this: if he doesn't pick up form, we're gonna lap them. We're gonna overtake them in the constructors.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It all depends on him. It all depends on him.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no issue with
Um,
Max.
no issue. No, with Max, no issue at all. I mean, they thank the luck. I mean, Red Bull have to thank the lucky stars they have Max in the team because if it was another driver, let's say Pierre Gasly, for example, because he was like the one of the last few, one of the last Red Bull drivers that was in the team, they would have been in a far worse position. I can guarantee you that. Um, Franco Colapinto in 10th. This brother is cooking, bro, at the moment. I mean, with Franco
Absolutely.
Colapinto, man, he's just consistently
Absolutely.
performing in that Williams car. Another fantastic performance from him to start into the top 10.
Yeah,
He's got
absolutely, bro. Colapinto, I think he's about to overtake Albon.
if he continues at this rate, I kind of agree. Yeah, honestly.
He's already, I don't know if it's because Colapinto has nothing to lose. I don't know if it's because of that, but to me, Colapinto has been so impressive, man.
I don't
So
think
impressive.
I don't think he has a lot of pressure because because
He has
listen
nothing to lose.
he doesn't have a seat next season, which is very unfortunate by the way if he doesn't get a
Yeah.
seat. For me,
Listen. But
yeah,
the same happened with Nick DeVries the year prior.
yeah,
Was it? Or 2 years ago? I don't know when. But
and even Oliver Behrman as well.
yeah, the same happened. But Behrman is getting a shot properly next year with Haas.
Yeah,
So we don't want to see another Nick DeVries. Because he
for
had
me,
the same.
honestly, Colapinto should be in that Sauber seat next season because let's say in Mexico he gets himself into the point again. I wouldn't be surprised if Sauber go for him as a second driver because he's performing at the moment, bro. He's absolutely delivering to what James Vowles has told him,
Yeah.
and he's putting Logan Sargent to the fucking dustbin, basically. I
Bro,
mean,
Logan Sargent was forgotten from the first race.
straight away,
He was
literally straight away.
forgotten. He was forgotten, Logan Sargent.
But anyhow, that's Colapinto in 10th, starting the sprint race in 10th. Yuki Tsunoda ninth with the Racing Bulls. Again, a decent spot for Yuki to start in qualifying. Um, Haas had a fantastic sprint qualifying, bro, in 8 and 6 with
Yep.
Hamilton sandwiched in between them.
Yeah, they
I
did.
think,
They
bro,
did.
this was the perfect way for their home Grand Prix to get for their home Grand
Absolutely.
for their
Mega
home weekend
start.
to get
Mega
going. Basically,
start.
it's a mega
Mega
start. I
start.
mean, Hulkenberg again, Mr. Qualifying for me, consistent once again, in 6th, and Magnussen in 8th with that Haas again. Considering how their rivals have started in for the sprint race, getting both drivers in the top 10 was mega stuff for them. Hamilton, on the other hand, 7th, not great. And for Hamilton, this was the start of a
Uh, oh,
disastrous weekend for him.
absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And
Absolutely for him.
which is very rare because usually Hamilton did pretty well in America.
Yeah, he has a great record in America, to be honest, considering
Sorry.
in his past in the past years. He's been very consistent. He's in the US. So yeah, 7th place, not underwhelming for him. And the top 5, bro, is pretty familiar territory. With Carlos Sainz in 5th, Lando Norris in 4th. Leclerc in third, George Russell fantastic in second place,
And
out
there was and
qualifying
there
both
wasn't mu-
Ferraris.
and there wasn't much in the top five, about 200ths of a second, or was it
Yeah,
250 thousandths of a
yeah,
second? There wasn't much. There wasn't
wasn't
much between
much.
top five.
And Max Verstappen in pole for the sprint race, and it's been quite some time. And it's been quite some time since we've last seen Max in pole position, basically. So
Yeah.
that was for him, considering Lando in P4. That was the perfect way for Max to be starting the sprint race in pole position. As for Lando Norris, um, for to be a bit disappointing to start in fourth. I think Lando expected maybe to get himself into the top three or maybe in the front row of the grid. So fourth place, a bit of a slight setback for him. The two Ferraris, I think nothing to complain about for them to be starting in the top five.
Yeah,
But
very good, very good.
obviously, George Russell was the standout there, and to be starting in second place. So that's really impressive stuff for George. Any comments, bro, before we head into sprint race?
Again, bro,
Any comments before we head into the sprint race?
nothing much. I mean, nothing much
Nothing
really,
much, yeah.
bro. Nothing much really. Very happy with Ferrari. Happy with Ferrari. Verstappen once
Yeah,
again back on the top step. I mean,
yeah,
in terms of qualifying, he has a very good record, Verstappen, when it comes to sprints.
yeah, definitely.
So nothing
And
much. Shout out to Haas as well. Shout out to Haas. Back a shout out to
yeah,
Haas on this.
definitely. I mean that again, home Grand Prix weekend for them. Perfect way for them to start their. Excuse me, perfect way to start their weekend, basically.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Let's head into the sprint race. 19 laps. And if we look at the start, Lando Norris, who obviously Lando this season hasn't had his fair share of great starts, he made an unbelievable start, bro. I mean, jumping from fourth to second, overtaking the Ferrari, the Leclerc's Ferrari and Russell's Mercedes.
He did,
Um,
and the first
but
and that S curve corner thing where
in,
he
in
overtook
that
Russell.
in that infamous S curve, basically, and apart from that, bro, I mean, honestly, we've seen a few overtakes in the sprint race, but I think obviously the main focus was Max Verstappen and Lando Norris.
There was some battles going on between Leclerc and Sainz, which was professional.
Yeah,
Which was professional. Sorry,
and
I
even
liked it.
Russell's Mercedes as well. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
had his fair share of
That
battles with.
they overtook Russell in 2 laps, both Sainz and Leclerc in the same corner and in the same way.
Yeah, definitely,
They
and
overtook in the same way.
yeah, overtaken. But honestly, bro, I think as I said before, the focus was between Max and Lando, and
All weekend long.
a- apart from that, bro, we did had a lot of. There wasn't much going on. Yes, we've seen a couple of overtakes in the first rows of the grid and in the middle portion of the grid. The two Ferraris, bro, as you mentioned, were neck and neck for the first few laps as well. I mean, right around lap three
Yeah, they were going
in
at
that
it.
S-curve corner.
They were going at it. They were going at it. They kept it
Yeah.
professional. I liked it. I liked it.
But I think, bro, you were a bit nervous to be honest, because one small
To
move
be honest,
they will have
to be
easily
honest,
collided.
to be honest, I wasn't, bro. I'm gonna
Hmm.
be honest with you. I was not. I was enjoying it.
Maybe because it
I'm
was a sprint race as well.
not only because it was a sprint race, but we got nothing to lose, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was enjoying it. I
Um,
mean, Science's last what is it? 6 races left. Science's last
yeah.
6 races left with Ferrari. Let him have fun. Let's have some
Again,
fun.
we'll
I know
give our
that last episode in Azerbaijan, I said what I said on Science because he costed the team. But then I was like, you know what? It's our last 6 races, bro. Go out
yeah,
and enjoy yourself.
yeah,
Leave on a high.
definitely.
Leave on a high. That's
Yeah,
it.
and obviously, bro, in sprint races we don't see pit stops because of the shorter because of the shorter laps,
Of course.
and the tires by lap 9, by lap 10, they were starting to show their wear. Basically, George
Yeah,
Russell
George Russell. George
had his
is
left tires dead pretty much.
yeah. His left tire was toast.
Yeah, definitely.
Toast. His
And
words, not mine.
we did see a few overtakes with Sergio Perez as well, towards outside, maybe towards the end of the top 10. But towards the last few laps, bro, Lando was gaining a few seconds on Max Verstappen. However, that was short-lived because by lap 18 and in the final lap, Lando's tires
Yeah,
were pretty
yeah.
much toast.
Sainz was behind him. Norris was just in front of Sainz and Leclerc.
Yeah, definitely.
Norris locked up in the first corner, and Sainz just swooped past him.
And even in the final lap, Lando made a small mistake
Yeah, he locked
with
up.
the tires. He locked up, and Leclerc got past him basically.
Sainz.
No, sorry, Carlos Sainz. Excuse me, Carlos Sainz got past him,
Okay,
and
bro.
Leclerc almost crashed into
Yeah,
Lando.
yeah.
And
Leclerc was saying he was moving on their braking. Where was he moving, bro? He wasn't
no, I
moving
wasn't moving.
nowhere.
And honestly,
He was bugging, bro.
at first I didn't see it probably, but then when the replays showed, it was very very close of being a
Close.
very nasty of being a very nasty accident, bro.
Very
And
close. Very close. Thank
let's
God
be
nothing
honest,
happened.
yeah, nothing happened, and nothing happened as well to Max Verstappen, bro. He was plain sailing for the entire sprint race,
Yeah,
and
his form in sprints continues, man.
yes, he was untroubled for the entire race, and he won the sprint race by almost 4 seconds ahead of Carlos Sainz. Again, Lando and Leclerc very lucky. Lando is the luckiest of the two because his tires were gone by the final lap. I mean,
Yeah.
he was in risk of not getting himself into the top three, and that would have been that would have been quite costly. But yeah, third place, 6 points in the back for him, eight for Max, which is, I mean, for both drivers, crucial for come the end of the season. So let's see how this will fare. How this will fare.
Yeah.
Leclerc in fourth, as we said, with 5 points. The two Mercedes in fifth and sixth with Russell and Hamilton. Yeah, with George Russell, disappointing for him from second.
His tires were gone as well.
Yeah, but
Both Ferraris
that's
overtook him.
obviously, yeah, that's obviously the consequence of having poor tires basically. Hamilton, a slight improvement from his seventh place, but sixth place isn't anything
Gone
to
up a
write home
place.
about for Lewis Hamilton. Going up a place, no big complaints for him. The two Hasses in seventh and eighth to complete
Very
the
good.
to
Very
complete the
good.
final points for them. Listen, 3 points. Nothing to write home about, maybe on its surface, but these are crucial points for us. I mean, for three
Absolutely.
points for them in seventh and eighth, and what better way than their home track, one of their home tracks eventually. And Sergio Perez and Oscar Piastri ending the top 10, but obviously the sprint race, the first eight drivers got points, so they um, leave the sprint race with absolutely nothing. Uh, Perez poor from him, and Oscar Piastri to start from 16th made great ground from 16th, but but for him unfortunately was gonna do any miracles um, to get into the points, so that that was the best he could have managed basically. Bro,
Absolutely.
final thoughts before we head into qualifying?
Not much. I mean, Verstappen continues his excellent form in sprints.
Yeah, definitely.
Not much. Not much else, bro.
No,
That's
not
all.
much. No, for me as well. Nothing really. Anything to
Verstappen
add.
continues his form.
Yeah, and listen, for Max, I mean, he hasn't won a sprint race or a race in ages now. I mean,
Exactly.
Spain
And
was last.
it was a pretty long time since we heard the Dutch national anthem.
No, in sprint races we don't hear the national anthems,
Oh, we
bro.
don't. Oh, we don't hear them. Oh God, because
No,
I want to
we
know.
don't.
I want to know. Because when the race is over, I don't keep on watching the podium celebration, so I don't
Ah,
know.
no, fair enough,
That's the
fair
reason
enough.
why. I thought they still. Oh, oopsies.
No, fair enough.
Let,
No,
let, me,
it's fair,
let,
it's
let,
fair.
let, 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 let me take a sip on this.
Yeah, you should, man, because it's a pretty fucking blow moment and another blow moment from your side. But
Twice,
anyhow,
bro, twice. I'm
twice.
hungry as a hostage, man.
Shocker, shocker. Um, no, for Max, much needed win for him. I mean, it's been an ages since he's last been in that winning spot, and even considering that Lando didn't finish right behind him as well, I think it was a boost for him heading into qualifying. And with regards to qualifying, bro, in Q1 we had a big shock in
Yeah,
Q1.
yeah, we did,
Um,
bro.
Obviously Zhou Guan
Wild.
Yu at the back of the grid in 20th, but Lewis Hamilton in
19th, bro.
19th, bro.
That was
Actually,
crazy.
actually, not in 19th. He originally finished right in 15th or 16th, but
Sorry.
his lap time got deleted, and he had to start in 19th place, bro.
That is wild, man.
That is wide, bro, for a seven-time world champion to be starting from.
Mercedes's upgrades, they weren't good
No,
at
no,
all.
no, 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 absolutely.
They downgraded. Their upgrades was a downgrade.
No, absolutely. Not
Even we even saw it
awful.
in we even saw them in practice. They both spun out. No,
Yeah, Russell span in the
Russell.
same in the same section as Hamilton did in qualifying. We're gonna get to him very very soon on him. But
Yeah.
no, this was I mean Mercedes upgrades, unlike Red Bull, McLaren
All
in the
right. All
somewhere in the
right.
middle.
All right.
But Mercedes' upgrades, no man,
No, they
they
downgraded.
major setback for them. I mean, and 19th for Hamilton, obviously for Hamilton, it was his mistake. He admitted that it was his mistake as well. And
Yeah.
in the race, another similar thing happened to him as well. But yeah, 19th place is shocking for a driver like Hamilton to be
Yeah.
starting
Absolutely, bro. That was a
a
shocker.
circuit like Austin to begin with as well.
Yeah.
Bottas in 18th, though.
Where he's been very good.
Yeah, definitely. Bottas in 18th, again, no comments on that. Sauber, it's a shit show at the moment. But I'm disappointed as well with Williams, bro.
Yeah.
17th and
17th,
16th with
16th.
Colapinto and Alex Albon. Now, thankfully, Colapinto with the race, he made he made a fantastic recovery. But yeah, with that Williams in 17th and 16th, um, uh, a bit of a setback for them to be
Yeah.
starting their
Yeah.
race from there. Um, in Q2, Liam Lawson didn't even take part in the second round of qualifying.
Nope.
So he had to start the race in 15th. Lance Stroll in 14th, and listen, even Aston Martin then had a great weekend as well. I mean, both drivers in the second round of sprint qualifying, and the same with qualifying as well. At least with one of the
Yeah.
drivers, with Lance Stroll in 14th. Esteban Ocon in 13th with that Alpine. Um, Slight improvement from his sprint qualifying performance, but 13th again, I think is the best he could have managed with Alpine. Nico Hulkenberg in 12th, a bit of a setback, considering he finished both the sprint qualifying and the race in the top 10. So 12th place, a slight setback for Nico Hulkenberg. The same with Yuki Tsunoda in 11th, second ninth, and Sergio Perez in 10th, and he didn't, and Sergio Perez didn't even finish.
Didn't even finish the quali? Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened with Perez. What exactly happened?
I think he had a slight crash or a mechanical issue because even qualifying I missed out on as well. Bro, qualifying was very very late
All right. Yeah, it was
because of the
about
American time.
yeah, it was about midnight, I believe. Was it here?
Right around midnight, 1 a.m. I think in Maltese time. So I had to do some good catch up with regards to that. Um, Kevin Magnussen in ninth with the Haas again. I think
Another top 10 start for Haas this weekend.
another top 10 start for Haas this weekend, bro. I mean, again, and even with Williams starting at nearly at the back of the grid, and even Alpine and even the Racing Bulls as well, starting outside the top 10, fantastic stuff
Yeah,
for at least one of
absolutely.
the Haas's to be starting in the top 10. Uh, Fernando Alonso in eighth with the Aston Martin,
All right.
again showing his
I
experience.
don't know how many people ain't talking about this. Pierre Gasly in the Alpine
Yeah,
P7,
I
bro.
was getting into that exactly, bro. P7.
Why no other people just mention this? They
It's
don't
gone
mention
pretty.
it.
It's gone pretty under the radar, bro. But mostly it was because of George Russell's crash.
Yeah,
Because what happened in qualifying was it ended a bit early because
in the
George Russell
same corner that he
went
spun
out
at
at that infamous turn
turn
19,
19.
bro. Hamilton,
I bet last night, bro, he couldn't sleep. All in his head that was going turn 19, turn 19, turn 19. That was all what was going on in his head.
and that's not, and turn 19 is, it's not going to be the last time we're going to mention turn 19, guys,
Nope.
because in the race we had
Nope.
another incident in turn 19, which we're going to get into very very soon. So because of that, George Russell at least got himself into the top six
He got a
with a
decent
sixth
time.
place.
He got a decent time though as well.
Yeah, exactly. Oscar in the top five again, very very familiar territory. Oscar Piastri in fifth, much better from his sprint qualifying, from 16th to fifth.
Very
That's
true.
more like where he wants to find himself. Maybe a fourth place would have better with a fourth place, but yeah, fifth place for Oscar Piastri. The two Ferraris, Leclerc and Sainz in fourth and third.
Decent.
Verstappen in second and Lando Norris in pole position, and he can thank George Russell for that
Absolutely.
because Max was in strong contention for getting pole position, so he can thank Russell for that. But
Yeah.
no, with regards to Lando, another pole position for him. For the season, lost count now how many pole positions he had because he's been so consistent this season. And
With
again,
Norris,
starting,
I think it's his fourth. No,
I think it's his fourth, yeah.
I think it's his
And
fourth pole position, if I'm not
and again,
mistaken.
yeah, and again, starting ahead of his title contending rival with Max Verstappen in second. That's exactly where he wants to start himself in the race, and even getting the better out of the two Ferraris as well. But unfortunately, bro, he can't say that he was he cannot say the same with the start because unfortunately for Lando Norris, he's had his fair share of poor starts, and this was one of his worst ones, Malcolm,
Yeah, bro,
because
it
he
was
went
indeed.
wide, and the two Ferraris got past him. You want to give us
I mean,
a
I
brief
mean, the,
summary on that?
I mean, listen, bro. Turn one, Norris had an awful start. Verstappen was closing in on him,
Yeah,
and what happened with Verstappen was squeeze Norris, which opened the gap nicely for Leclerc to just swoop, to just waltz right through and take the lead of the race. That's all it was,
yeah.
really. That's all it was. Sainz, and then which dropped Sainz behind Verstappen and also dropped Norris because Norris was pushed off track by Verstappen.
Yeah, definitely. And but I don't know. But for
But it
me,
also, but it
uh
was also, sorry for interrupting, but
no, 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 no worries, no worries.
it was also beneficial as because Leclerc also had a great start.
Yeah,
So with
definitely.
Leclerc having a great start, it also helped as well.
Yeah, not just him. Even Carlos Sainz made a fantastic
Both of
start
them.
as well.
But
But
but Leclerc overtook Sainz in
yeah,
order to initiate, in order to be able to overtake both Verstappen and Norris whilst they were
yeah,
battling each other.
definitely. But going back to Lando Norris, I'm just frustrated, bro, because he just doesn't seem to learn from his mistakes at the start. Because
And it
this
makes you
is
question, bro. It makes you question: is he world champion material?
I'm not sure about that, to be honest, because when it comes to the starts,
It makes you question.
he's not learning from his mistakes, man. And especially at this portion of the season, you need to make everything count, and that also includes the start of the race. And with Lando, yes, and listen, he was frustrated that maybe Max took him a little bit of the apex and of the track, but you can't let the two Ferraris make an overtake and easy overtake like that and
Yeah,
lose
but they
three
allowed it to
positions at the
happen.
start.
Yeah, but Verstappen and Norris allowed it to happen.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
their fault.
unfortunate.
It's their
Now,
fault.
bro, during that time as well, we did see a spin at the back of the grid with between Alex Albon
Yeah,
and one of the Alpines. I think
yeah, that was
that
Ocon.
was Esteban Ocon. So, but luckily, none of the drivers had a
That was a bit
retirement.
that was a bit of a yellow flag there, but nothing crazy.
No, but then Esteban Ocon regained control and it was green flags again.
Exactly.
However, one
What?
driver that wasn't so lucky was Lewis Hamilton because
Jesus
on lap three
Christ, bro.
he lost control on turn fucking 19,
19.
and that was his race over. And Lewis Hamilton, bro, this guy, it's like he had the most disastrous three-course meal that you can ever have, because he had an underwhelming sprint. He had an underwhelming sprint race. He had a horrible qualifying, starting at the back of the grid in 19th, and he had a disastrous race where
Where he didn't even make it. He didn't even put in 5 laps in the race.
three laps
Yeah,
on
but
lap
exactly.
three,
He,
on
he
three
didn't.
lap on lap
He didn't
three.
even. He didn't even put in 5 laps because he was on
Yeah,
lap 3.
because on lap three, and it was his mistake because he literally lost control of his car.
In the
There was
same
no one.
corner that Russell lost it the day prior.
And listen, there was no one
And it
near
was
him pretty
and, and,
much.
and,
There
and
was no
was
one
with
near him.
and it was with less speed.
Yeah.
It was
So
with less speed.
that was an uncharacteristic error for him, man. Very, very
Bro,
poor.
that Mercedes this weekend was
Yeah.
a proper diva.
Yeah, it was,
That
man. I
was a
mean,
proper diva.
listen, at least Hamilton apologized for his mistake, but again, Kimi Antonelli was watching close by from the pit lane from what happened.
And I was like, he was
But
probably saying, "I'm gonna drive this shit next year."
yeah, exactly. I mean, the pressure is already onto him. Poor lad. Poor lad. But anyway,
Oh, he's not even 20 years old. What? How old is he? 18,
19,
19?
18 or
19.
19, I think.
Jesus
He's
Christ,
very,
man.
very young. But
He's
anyway,
still a baby, bro.
but for Hamilton, bro, awful weekend for him. I mean,
Yeah, man.
I mean, completely,
I don't
completely
want to
off
say
it.
any. I don't want to say anything negative on Hamilton because he's gonna drive for Ferrari next year. So I need to choose my words carefully on
Yeah, you
Hamilton.
have to, man.
I
You
have to
have
choose
to.
my words carefully. Disappointed, of course. No one like to see these kind of things, but I'm
No,
sure he'll bounce.
absolutely.
I'm sure he'll bounce. But Mercedes got to help themselves as well.
And that was also the first time the safety car was deployed since the Canadian Grand
Yeah,
Prix.
since Canada, bro.
Bert Mylander finally getting his chance of driving around the track, bro,
Yeah,
because
something
it's
to
been,
do. Something
yeah,
to
he has
do.
something to do at least,
He,
because
he had nothing to do. He was getting paid for nothing.
yeah, absolutely. So at least now he finally got his chance of driving around for at least for just 3 laps, because the race was restarted by lap 5, and and obviously um Leclerc wasn't so troubled during the restart, but Carlos Sainz eventually got stay behind Max Verstappen. Now on lap 10, there was one of the Saubers having a spin. I
Yeah,
think it
Guan Yu
was
Zhou, bro. Guan Yu Zhou. He was in P13 at the moment.
I think it was it turn 19 as well.
No, it wasn't. It was the first corner.
I think it was the first corner. Yeah, listen, bro. We talk about turn 19. Even the first corner
Yeah, they were
had its fair share of headaches as well.
with Lando Norris looking up. Guan Yu Zhou.
Yeah, definitely.
The first step incident between Colapinto and Ocon.
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely.
yeah,
George Russell, bro, had to start the race from the back of the grid because
yeah.
of because of his changes with the car,
Prior to the
and
crash, yes.
his weekend got from bad to worse because he also had a 5 second time penalty because he forced Valtteri Bottas off the track.
Yeah, and didn't
So
agree with it. It was like, what? He didn't agree. He didn't even agree with it.
he didn't.
I don't know why he had to push him off the track.
Yeah, no, I
Like
mean,
why?
didn't have much. He didn't need to complain much
Yeah,
about that,
but
though, to be honest.
I
But
didn't even have to push him off track. He could just give him
yeah,
some space and that's
absolutely.
it.
Bro, apart from that, not much to talk about with this race. I mean, the
No,
pit stops, obviously, the pit stops. I mean, were crucial
I mean,
to
apart
to,
from
to, to determine a bit.
this is what gripes me. Yeah, this is what gripes me about this race. Like, okay, we won. Ferrari 1-2, great, amazing. Barely
Yeah,
any coverage on Ferrari, bro.
that was disgraceful, to be honest.
Barely
To
any
have zero
coverage. Like,
coverage.
okay, I get the fact that it's between Norris and Verstappen, which to me, I still believe Verstappen is going to win the Drivers' Championship. I believe.
We'll have to wait and see for that. But anyhow,
But listen, no coverage on the race winners. On the race winner. No coverage on Ferrari getting a 1-2. Barely any spotlight on man. You know what? We don't care. We don't care. We got another 1-2 this season and we'll happily take it.
yeah,
So
definitely.
thank you very much to Verstappen and Norris for screwing their own races and helping us. We'll take it. No problem.
And you guys were just, I mean, you couldn't. I mean, you will not get an easier win than that, bro, because
We'll take it.
you were literally
Thank God,
uncovered
thank
for the
God,
entire race.
thank
Uncovered.
God. It was also a strategic masterclass from the team.
Yeah.
Leclerc handled his tires beautifully. The pit stop calls were great. Everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. Coming from a team that has come into from these 3 week hiatus, didn't even have a single upgrade on the car. Chef's kiss.
Shop off for them. Yeah, no. For me,
Sorry.
it's absolute perfection for Ferrari. I mean, they had a 1-2,
Yeah.
and even obviously the focus was Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. There was their battle
And
going
let's
on.
and let's and let's talk about that incident the second time that he pushed
Yeah.
him off track. Let's
Yes.
talk
Now,
about that.
yeah, because obviously, Max's tires were starting to show its age, and even Lando's Norris tires. But Lando, was behind Max for the last couple of laps, and towards the latter stages, he made the overtake on Max eventually. However, both drivers went slightly off the track, and Lando was unfortunately the driver who fell victim to that, and unfortunately he got a 5 second time penalty for that. Now, bro, we did see a similar incident towards on lap one of the race, but nothing happened after that. But with regards to here, Lando paid the price for getting that penalty. Now, bro, my thoughts on this is that honestly, I'm a bit mixed on it. I agree that the penalty was given because let's face it, Lando. Yes, I mean obviously Max didn't give Lando much of an opportunity to have an overtake on the apex. However, listen, he did the overtake off the track. So listen, rules are rules, and I expected. Listen, I
Lando
expected him to get
claimed
a penalty.
Lando claimed that he was ahead of that corner. I disagree.
I disagree as well. I
You
disagree
ca-
as well.
how
Yeah,
can
I
how can
disagree
you
as
be
well.
ahead? How can you be ahead when you're on the outside?
No,
How can you be ahead? That was Verstappen's corner. What Norris had to do was push back a bit so he can get in behind. No, did he? Of Verstappen again.
now apparently Max matched Lando's apex. I'm not sure about that. So if that happened, he had to give the place back. But
But he didn't, and that's hence the penalty.
and I also have a feeling that McLaren will reinstate will appeal for this, but I don't think that's going to be accepted as well. Um, I'm just a little bit frustrated that the same wasn't given on lap one because listen, if you're gonna give a penalty to Lando for
If they
doing
pro-
that,
if they probably saw, I think they probably saw the lap one incident as a racing esque incident.
I'm not sure about that to be
I don't
honest
know. I don't
because
know. I don't know. I don't know. I
no.
don't can't really tell what the FIA is thinking. They be making some bogus decisions, but I don't know. Maybe
Bro,
they saw it as
do you agree with the penalty or not? Because I don't think it.
well. All he had to do was
Mhm.
concede the place. Concede the place. If he conceded the place to Verstappen, if he'd let Verstappen overtake him, they would have conceded no penalty.
I
Simple,
agree.
simple.
I agree.
And it was better like that. It was better to do that than to stay in front, concede the penalty, because if you're getting behind Verstappen again, no Diddy, you could try and overtake Norris. You could try and overtake Max again. You
Mm.
get another chance at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, uh, Again, I mean, our verdicts on this, guys. I mean, we're a bit mixed, but I honestly, as soon as Lando did that overtake, I said I didn't celebrate widely to be honest because I had the feeling that oh crap, he's gonna get a penalty for that definitely because that overtake looked a little bit fishy to be completely honest. So
Yeah.
now, obviously, Lando finished the race in third behind the two Ferraris, but obviously because of that 5 second time penalty, he drops to fourth place. So Max got that third place spot for him. Um, Bro, I need to ask you this: who had the better weekend? I think Max for me had the better
Yeah.
weekend
Yeah.
than
Definitely. Yeah.
Lando.
Definitely.
I think
Yeah. Yeah.
after this weekend.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, he finished above. Apart from qualifying, Verstappen had the better of Norris. all weekend long.
I agree on that. I think constructor-wise, I don't think it's. I think McLaren were the better from Red
Yeah.
Bull definitely,
But in
but I
terms of
think with the
drivers, Verstappen was
drivers,
better than Norris.
I think Max should be is definitely the happier of the two
Yeah.
drivers definitely. With McLaren, obviously we finished fourth and fifth with Lando and Oscar. Um, Honestly a little bit disappointed that we weren't quite on on top form as we were in the previous weeks. Maybe the track didn't quite suit the car. So hopefully we make a bit of an improvement with Mexico this coming weekend, because considering that both Ferraris finished ahead of us for the constructors, that's not going to be very very pretty for us. And I think we did lack a little bit of the same pace as maybe Max's Red Bull and even the two Ferraris did. So a little bit underwhelmed for this weekend. But listen, I mean, more points in the back for us, but fourth and fifth, both drivers outside the top three. A bit disappointed by that, to be honest. So yeah, that's my thoughts on McLaren. George Russell in sixth. Honestly, he made a great recovery, starting from the back of the grid to finish in sixth. Sergio Perez in seventh. Again, a few points for him, but poor. Again, I
Measly.
mean,
Measly.
measly 7 points for him. What do you think, bro? I think
Measly
measly.
on the Sergio Perez for sure. Absolutely.
Definitely. Um, uh, Nico Hulkenberg in eighth. Again for
Again,
Haas.
another top 10 finish this weekend,
This
bro.
was a fantastic weekend for Haas. I mean, they had. I mean, both drivers in the points in the sprint qualifying. In qualifying, one of their cars in the top 10, and the same with the race as well. I mean, a great result for Haas. And again, this was the perfect way to show your worth in your home Grand Prix as well. So
Yeah.
fantastic for Haas as well. Um, Liam Lawson and Franco Colapinto even more impressive, bro. I mean,
Very, very,
I
very,
mean, both
bro.
drivers starting nearly at the back of the grid. And for Liam Lawson, that's the perfect way to start your second spell in Formula One. Ninth place, 2 points in the back for Racing Bulls.
Fernando Alonso would probably disagree with us on Liam Lawson because he called him an idiot.
No, but listen, he finished outside the
No, no,
points.
no, 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 but no,
He
but
finished outside the points and he didn't. So
listen, listen. This is Alonso's words, not mine. So, but Liam Lawson, yeah, he was first race back in Formula One, which I believe, and probably you also believe, that he should have been given this seat from the beginning of the season, and not
I
Danny
agree on
Rick.
that. No, definitely, definitely.
So, with what he did today, Liam Lawson is like
Unreal effort.
I told y'all so, and y'all chose Danny Rick over me.
No,
It's like that's what he said. No disrespect to Danny Rick. I hope he's having a great retirement, but that's what practically Liam Lawson just said.
obviously we have to see as well how we performing how he'll be performing this weekend in Mexico as well. So let's
Yeah,
hope this is not a one off as well.
exactly.
But Franco,
Also Franco Colapinto. For me,
this
Franco
brother's
Colapinto,
cooking, man.
bro, Franco Colapinto for me, just about is better than Albon. I don't know if it's because he has nothing to lose,
Yeah,
but
you
he's
said this
showing
as
more.
well.
To me, he's showing more cojones, more willingness. He's not scared. Brother,
I'm so
brother is
impressed, bro.
fearless. Brother is fearless,
No,
man.
listen, the man that is cooking out here, man. He is literally every week and consistently in the points,
Yeah,
and it's gonna be crucial. Listen, and it's gonna be crucial for them in the constructor signs as well. I mean, this guy literally all that Capital has to do was to give it his all out there, and to show his worth. And my God, he is showing his worth out there, bro. I mean, consistently again. Listen, it's 1 point which on the surface is a measly point, but for him it's gonna mean a lot. And he started in towards the back of the grid as well, so it's a fantastic recovery, and he made some decent overtakes as well,
absolutely,
because
absolutely,
obviously
bro.
the focus was on Max and Lando, and even towards the middle of the grid. But Franco Colapinto is going under the radar as well with the overtakes and his performances as well. And again, 1 point, fantastic for him. And that's pretty much the top 10 for him. So obviously the two Ferraris coming out on top, and Max Verstappen finishing the top three. Fantastic for Haas and Liam Lawson and Franco Colapinto. And a bit underwhelming as well for McLaren. Driver of the day, bro. This is an easy one. I think it's Leclerc. Um,
Starboy Leclerc, bro. Starboy Leclerc. My
Listen,
guy.
Ferrari are definitely the winners of this entire weekend, bro. A 1-2 finish. They are just a few.
Second of the season. Second of the season.
Yeah, they're just a few points behind Red Bull now. I mean, if they're, I mean, again, if they're going to do the same in Mexico or in a similar Grand Prix in the coming weeks,
About,
they're gonna be in second place.
we're about 8 points. We're about eight
Yeah,
points.
only 8 points, man.
Perez needs to step up.
Yeah,
It all depends on Perez to me. Depends
absolutely.
also on Ferrari, but also Perez.
But listen, going back to Leclerc, bro, this brother was flawless for the entire weekend. On lap one, did the overtake on lap one, and he was untroubled for the entire race. He remained literally
Exactly, bro.
on in first place. And the same with Carlos Sainz, but I'm obviously gonna have to give it to Leclerc because this for me, for Ferrari, this was a statement win because, as I said in the constructors, now they're only 8 points behind Red Bull, and they're just 40 something points behind McLaren. Listen, if they remain consistent, they're going to be late contenders for the constructor side as well. Listen, they have no chance with the drivers, but with the constructors, they could be in the mix very
Listen,
very late in the
listen,
season.
bro. If we could pip Red Bull and finish second, amazing, bro.
Would be brilliant.
It could be awesome. And what a fall for grace would that be for Red Bull?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's like Red Bull
Which many
for
people are praying for that. They're praying for that. They're praying
honestly,
that Red Bull.
Red Bull. Red Bull are having a Dr. Jekyll and Hyde season, to be honest, because they were so consistent and on the top spot for the first half of the season. And then you have the second half of the season. They're just the shadow of their former selves. They have Max to thank for.
I wouldn't say in the first half of the season. What was it? The first 3-4 races where they dominated?
But they were
No, not even.
consistently
Not
winning.
even the first two races. The first two races.
But even after Melbourne, they had a few race wins as well in Imola as well.
Yeah, they had Imola. They had Imola.
They
But
had a win. So
Imola was plain sailing. I think that was the last one, the last Red
yeah,
Bull race that was pretty plain sailing.
yeah, definitely. So this couldn't have gone any more sweeter for Ferrari. They're definitely Leclerc is definitely my driver of the day. Other contenders, bro, the only two drivers I can think of are Franco Colapinto and Liam
And Liam
Lawson, to be
Lawson.
honest. I mean,
I
those
would
are
like.
the only two drivers.
I would like to give a special mention though to the Haas team this the
Yeah,
whole
Haas
weekend.
as well. Haas as well.
I would like if I have to say team of the day, team of the week, EA FC settings, team of the week, I go with Haas, bro.
It's a fair shout. It's a fair shout.
I'd
But
go with Haas.
my pick,
Loser of the day, Mercedes. I don't want to hear it.
yeah, Hamilton for me, definitely. Listen,
I would go.
McLaren could be a shout for losers, but for me, it's Hamilton, bro. I
Nah,
mean, he's
it's
had an
Mercedes as a
awful
whole.
weekend.
Mercedes as a whole. Turn 19. That's it. Just turn 19.
Even if Russell finished in sixth as well,
Mercedes,
you
bro.
pick them. No,
Mercedes as a whole.
honestly, I agree as well.
Like
I think
all that talk
honestly,
on
yeah,
major
yeah,
upgrades, and then turn 19 had to fuck you up. Nah,
definitely.
Mercedes as a whole.
No, my pick is Hamilton. Definitely, Hamilton had an awful weekend, bro. I mean, as I said, he had a disastrous three-course meet, literally. Poor sprint race, poor qualify, and an even poorer race. So a weekend to forget for Mercedes.
Yeah.
With regards to clown of the day and dick of the day, do you have any picks, bro? I don't.
Nah.
Nothing in
Nah.
mind, this guy.
Nah.
So yeah, those are our picks, guys. If we look at the top 10 for our driver standings, Verstappen remains on top with 354 points. He has increased the
Sorry.
gap on Lando Norris with 297 points in second. Leclerc has made
Great
some
ground.
ground with 275 points. Oscar Piastri remains in fourth with 247 points. Carlos Sainz in fifth with 215 points. Hamilton remains in sixth with 177 points. George Russell in seventh with 167 points, 10 points behind him. Sergio Perez in eighth with 150 points, and Alonso in ninth with 62 points. And Nico Hulkenberg has now overtaken Lance Stroll, who in 10th with 29 points. Very well deserved, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Getting himself into the top
Makes
10.
this weekend even more sweeter for us.
Yeah, finally not see Lance Stroll in the top 10. So, I'm kind of relieved about that, to be honest, because that brother doesn't deserve a seat at all, to be honest. So,
And Adrian Newey is going to design a car for him,
sadly,
unfortunately.
where we could see a young driver there, no, we're gonna give him,
No,
we're gonna
no,
give
no.
We're gonna give Lance Stroll the car. So,
Imagine an Alonso Colapinto with Aston Martin.
well, that would have been amazing, bro.
But it is what it is.
Anyhow, the constructors is looking very, very spicy, man, because
Yeah.
McLaren obviously are still on top with 544 points. There's a 40-point gap between them, between McLaren and Red Bull, 544 and 504 points. As we said, bro, Ferrari are only 8 points behind them, behind Red Bull with 496 points. If they remain consistent,
Which we hope.
they will be in the mix. They will be definitely in the mix with the constructors.
We are. We are.
They will
We are. We
definitely.
are. We are in
Definitely,
reality.
definitely. Mercedes in fourth with 344 points. Aston Martin in fifth with 86 points. Haas have overtaken Racing Bulls after a fantastic weekend with 38 points. Racing Bulls now just 2 points behind them with 36 points. Williams in eighth with 17 points. Alpine in in ninth with 13 points, and Sauber remain bottom with 0 points.
Nada
And
zilch, bro.
Zilch, exactly. And that's it. That is the end of another episode, guys.
Thank
Thank
you
you so much
guys,
for
and
listening.
very apologies for the
Yeah,
technical
yeah,
difficulties we had, bro.
yeah. These
Riverside
were
bugging like crazy,
no,
but
no. I
it
mean,
is what it is.
Riverside wasn't on our side today, pun
Yeah,
intended.
yeah.
Riverside wasn't on our side today,
But
unfortunately. So obviously that will be edited out, and make sure to follow us on our socials, guys, as we mentioned in episode. Spotify. Um, you don't need to wait too long for our episode, guys, because our episode is just in a few days' time, where we'll be heading into Mexico, and Sergio Perez better fucking perform at their home
yeah,
race, because
pressure's on Perez, bro.
yeah,
Pressure's on
definitely,
Perez.
and even Verstappen and Norris now as well.
Yeah,
Let's not
Verstappen and
let's
Norris.
not
I mean,
forget.
yeah, Verstappen and Norris. I mean,
Yeah, let's not forget those
of
two
course,
drivers.
because they're title
Yeah,
contenders. But
yeah,
Perez, he has to deliver.
yeah,
Listen,
definitely.
we hope I hope he delivers. Honestly, Sergio Perez, because I like
Yeah,
him as a driver. In
definitely,
reality,
definitely. Yeah,
and Mexico is a nice place.
yeah,
So
listen, we took the piss out of Checo during these last couple episodes, guys. But in reality, we want him to perform
exactly.
to perform, because we need to see the best out of him as well. Anyhow, let us know, guys, with your comments on each episode, and with that, we'll see you in a couple of days' time. Take care of
Yes.
yourselves, and peace.
Thank you and good night. Much